my son calls me. He's supposed to be driving home today from Wichita. My brother's getting married on Saturday.
Okay.
So he calls me and goes, Mom, I can't come home today. I'm like, why? He goes, because I just randomly got my drug testing at 7:45 tonight. I go, what?
Oh.
And I go, Claire, won't you tell you to come in and do it right now? Yeah, you can leave. Yeah. He's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, you're not getting out of it. You're just doing it early. It totally makes sense. Yeah. And sound like you're saying, yeah. So he just called me back and said, okay, I'm gonna go and do it right now. I still didn't think you were, but you ain't.
Good, I'm
Right there,
Clint.
yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
You're still a baby.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I can, I've been here about as long as this place has existed. I helped start California, Minnesota too. So if I can ever help with it.
Absolutely.
I'm not even proud of
Thank you.
all of that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, very much.
No, it's 98. There is. It's 98. No, it's 98. What is my, you have 98.
Where's the bathroom?
Hallway?
Hallway?
Hallway and then turn right.
I get first. I just bought that book, so.
Yeah, no, I got book number 1. That's a good one. But here's my to-do list. Oh crap, I have a checklist on my thingy.
I have to get Brian's mail stuff because we're sending out those invites tomorrow. It will be fine. The handwriting is so well.
Just type it. You won't type it.
Well, it's so giving him to actually look at it. I'm like, here is your list. Go through it. All I want is check or cross out. I will find all of them. Okay. But then he makes notes. I'm like, I don't know what this means. Right?
You're not like this guy, like doctor, right?
Yeah. Hey, Lance, how are you?
Maria.
Trying to track.
What's wrong?
Sorry.
Are you talking again to me? Hi, Leanne.
Hi.
Maria, trying to trick. I see.
You're
That's a
trying.
great idea.
Yeah, that's
Why
all.
is she moving?
Hi, Grace.
We have a 9:30.
Good
No,
bones,
you said
exactly.
you started.
Yeah.
Know your part? Good. And you know when you get to part of the part you don't want to do anymore, say, Jason's going to tell you about that.
Last and what?
Well,
I'm not going to remember that. You're just going to say, Jason's taking over with this.
So you're saying this meeting won't be for smart people?
no, it is for smart people, but
No, that's what you're inferring.
Jason shared more smart things with us.
Ah,
It was very good. Very much.
open up a Robinhood account, throw $100 in there, get started.
No,
Right now.
never mind. I was just gonna say, oh,
That's the smartest thing someone can tell you today.
Thank you.
You don't have a Robinhood account. I know Grace has one.
I don't have one, but I know what it is.
You should open up a Robinhood, especially you're like 21.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that drinking money.
Yeah, put $300 away in some various stocks in there. Keep doing it religiously every month for the next, your age, for about 12 years. Don't
Clint,
do
do
it
you have a
anymore.
Robinhood
You'll have
account?
over $1 million.
Oh, what?
Robinhood account?
By the time you're
Do
50.
you know what it is? What you would ask is your parents to, can
I think
you
so.
gift my
I think
Robinhood
that's where you
account?
spend money.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it
I know
round
my
up?
brother has
Huh?
one.
Does it round up?
Oh, yeah.
We just discussed that Maria and I aren't smart because we don't have one. Lance told us we're.
I don't have one,
Keeps-
but-
I'm signing up.
Oh, Robinhood?
Yeah.
Lance, do you know Clint?
I do know, I'm Lance.
How you doing? Glenn?
Nice to meet you.
They do.
Newerby, no, Newerby. Oh,
I'm an oldie.
You ain't that old, stop.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, in a brokerage,
I'll
Maria,
bet
not.
you, except for Mr. Rawl sitting over there, I'll bet you I have more years in this business. He's been around since dirt.
He called you Moses, Steve. Dirt.
I know, but I'm not too far behind him.
And wait a minute, I'm right in, I'm right in on you.
No, I'm not saying
I
the
guess I
age,
have to
I'm
sign
saying
up
the
for
years in
Robin.
business.
December of '92, he said, what are you?
It's, you can invest like $300.
So am I.
He's got me me by 6 years.
I think Kristen got y'all all be 10 years old. Kristen's like 40 years old.
Really?
Not sure how that works.
So Steve's
But I'm
December
reading
of
about it.
92.
Yeah.
I think I was April of 92.
Yeah.
Oh, you older than that?
Probably.
So how does that work, Maria? I'm older than you, but you got more years.
Let's see how they did you.
Huh?
They did you dirty.
I didn't see that.
You were too busy, busy
Galloway.
being a big shot.
Ha ha ha. No pun intended, pun intended.
Galloway.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He was a big shot.
There's something about it. You are being a very point. Big shot.
Yeah, when they would let me shoot report.
Hello.
You were never on the outside.
How are you?
I was.
Right, Ron?
Yeah, get better. Get better.
Did it have like an issue like 4 years ago? Like, didn't it?
Yeah, kinda had some crud earlier this week.
There was a big controversy.
And they call it the biggest dork. I'm like, and then I looked, I trailed around and around and around looking for the base. Oh,
But they were, yeah, they paid the $1 million fine.
There's a red door.
There's,
And I went,
look, there's other ones too.
And I opened it and I put one behind the stand. I work here. I don't want to be here. I'm not crazy. Olivia, nice to meet you. You're welcome. We're
You know, so whoever.
Mesa,
Getting that back, and then I put
Some company.
Denver, then I drove to Cheyenne.
Start.
Had a wake up call 4 o'clock and
a
little heart issue and went to go order Uber and it said no cars available. At 4:49. And my flight said 6.
You put your thumb out?
Well, I called the front desk and I was like, what's that?
In the Dakota?
Yeah, in Rapid City. And I called them on the front desk and they're like, I don't think there's a cab service in town. So oh my god, for 8 days. And they said, well,
Rapid
try
City,
Lyft.
have
I'm like,
Rapid.
well, that's a brilliant idea.
Oh, you need to use another one. And
You don't use both of them?
I forgot that.
It's usually cheaper to do that.
So I walk into the airport at 5:22 and I was the last bag. There's nobody in line at Tuesday. Oh, actually, it was a pretty big jet. It was packed. I'm surprised. What's up?
Why was all the people in Rapid, whatever?
Rapid City, I don't know why anybody
BFE, yeah.
other than Peter.
All right, Olivia, this is your building, this is my show, so.
Okay.
I like that. It's your building, it's my fault. I love that.
So as some of you know,
I wish I
some of you may have heard, it's the first Thursday in November. And we are doing our team meetings on Thursday for the rest of November, and then in December, we're gonna jump back to Wednesday. So I thank you for your flexibility of being here today. But please keep in mind, this show is on Thursday, and that is not normal. But you being here is normal, but it's just normal on Wednesdays. Got that figured out, right?
Yes.
And some of you also may know that Jamie will not be joining me today, my compatriot, so we'll have a lot less puns, but a lot more fun. Until I found out Olivia's gonna be here, in which case we'll ratchet down the fun a little bit and up the pro. So we have a little bit of pro, a little bit of fun, no puns. Got that, right? Happy November. Our mission at Keller Williams is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And I put this slide up here a million times. There should either be a period here or not all the other places. Don't look at that often. Welcome, Brian. Our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. Pretty straightforward. That's what we want to do. And our values, our culture, and our priorities are God, family, business in that exact order. Period. All the time. That's it. It's that simple. Don't make it complicated. Integrity. We believe in doing the right thing. If you have to ask if this is the right thing, let me give you a hint. It's not. You know what the right thing is to do. If you're not sure, it's probably not the right thing. Impact. We strive to give freely of our time and talents to positively influence lives. Whether that's people in this building, people outside this building, or people way that we barely even know, we want to have and give freely of our time and positively influence lives and growth. We encourage strong work ethic plus consistency, systems, models, and tools to achieve results. That's how we get there. Those are the things we use. So, play of the week, as you know, we select agents who are doing amazing things, oftentimes outside of the business, but sometimes inside the business to highlight them so that they can not only be recognized for the great things that they're doing, but also share some things that they're doing with their own clients and that they don't have to feel like they're tooting their own horn. We'll go ahead and toot it for you. And in this case, we're going to recognize a couple plays of the week because it's been a couple weeks since we met. And the first one we're going to recognize is Jenna Riley and the Riley home team. Jenna and her team make a massive impact in Southwest Minnesota. I'm reading from Jamie's words here. They make their clients' real estate dreams come true, as well as their unmatched philanthropy. They were recently honored as the 2024 Volunteer of the Year Award for the United Way of Southwest Minnesota. Their team was nominated and won the United Way Volunteer Award. And that's an amazing achievement. It reflects their dedication and hard work, as well as their massive hearts, and a lasting legacy that impacts generations. With this play of the week, the Riley home team hits all four of our core values here at Keller Williams: culture, family business in that order, integrity, doing the right thing, impact, striving to give freely of our time and talents to positively influence lives, and growth, encouraging a strong work ethic. We're blessed to have partner with teams like Jana's, including Mikey Hauser. We have Ashley Kunal over here, and Shakri Isaiva. Faduma is not pictured, nor is Brian Scheid, because they recently joined the team, but they are also part of the team that's done some amazing work in southwestern Minnesota. Let's give them a big hand for being here. Another play of the week. This one is Eli Winslow. He's part of the Her Camp Home Group. When observing what real estate agents most successful usually comes down to hard work, desire to keep learning, and having a servant's heart. Eli is a youth pastor at Bethel's Rock Church, where he and 9 of his colleagues recently went to serve others on a mission trip to Nigeria. He was asked to preach at a pastor's conference, feed the needy, build a roof on a church, and at a university. He said it was eye-opening how little they had yet come from, and he came home feeling like he had served them, taking his understanding of what a servant's heart is to a new level. His outlook has also helped Eli be on pace to have his best real estate year yet. He gives credit to the support of his loving wife of 1 year, Bethany. They hope to be growing their family in the near future. Great job, Eli. Thank you for your contribution. Again, we post it, we share it. We want to make sure that people know that he's doing a great job in the community, because your clients like to hear what you're doing. They like to see your involvement, and that's super important. All right, the one thing I had mentioned, no puns, but there's no weird walk-up songs, so I could pretend, baby. I'm not going to do that anymore. That's the one time you get it. But that was hilarious. Not here. We'll be coming back soon. Love to have her back. But in the meantime, I've got my friend Grace. We're going to give her a little grace. Public speaking is not the first thing on her favorite thing to do list, but she's going to tell us about some of the events.
Okay, so we just want you guys to be aware of what's coming up. So 2 weeks from today, actually, right after the team meeting, we'll have a gratitude potluck. You can sign up for that here. Please sign up sooner rather than later so we can get kind of an estimated attendance for that. And then we will also have turkey bingo hosted by Jason, his wife Kelly. So I don't think she's here.
No, she's at home sick. She's on the Zoom though. Hey, Zoom people.
Yes.
You gotta say hi to all the Zoomers.
So please sign up using this QR code, or you can do it in the Facebook group. It's also in the Friday emails. So
while you're on here, I want to point out that the gratitude potluck is before the turkey bingo. And I'm doing the turkey bingo. So if you want the turkey bingo to be massively fun, you got to bring some stuff to the potluck, because a full belly will make me more fun. I promise. I'm all about the fun there.
Thank you. Okay, and then Photos with Santa is coming up. You'll get more details about this. It's happening Saturday, December 7th from 9:30 to 12. There's only 30 time slots, so right when you see that in the Friday email this week, as well as on the Facebook group, please sign up, promote it out to your clients. The spots will fill up fast. We'll also have snacks and movies going on in the training room here. So yeah, excited for that.
When are you sending out that email?
tomorrow and the Friday email will go out, and then it'll be on the Facebook group next week.
Gotcha.
And then.
And yours.
Then we are going to a door decorating theme, because I like Christmas a lot and I'm sick of the boring hallways, so I want to decorate them. So we were thinking to have them all done by December 1st, so that way, when we're having our Santa event, the families can walk through the halls and see them. And if you're here, you can pass out different candies or little treats. So please participate, do it, because I'm asking you very nicely, just do it. Number 2, even more important, last year we were able to help 45 vets out of the Hastings VA. We provided them each with a $50 gift card. This year I reached out to them and they are really underfunded this year. They're asking if we could help 75 residents that are staying there. We're going to try to do it. We are going to decorate by next Thursday. You'll see it on the front windows. You'll be able to grab the card and donate a $50 gift card to different places that the vets themselves have asked for. Please, please, please do this. It's really close to my heart and it's really important for us to give back.
Also, if you do grab a card, there will be a second card behind it where you can write your name and your phone number on it and leave it at the front desk, just so we can keep track of where those tags are going.
Absolutely. Okay, that's my part.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank
I'll leave it
you.
up to you.
So, wow, is this 2 weeks ago now? The hurricane?
A week.
Happy hour, it's just 1 week ago?
Yeah.
Time is flying fast and slow, but slowly but suddenly. A week ago, we had a happy hour here at the Market Center, right here in this room. That's why those lights are still up there. And they're wonderful. We're gonna keep them for a little while. But our happy hour, we raised a total of $3,735. A lot of agents were here. It's fantastic. The goal was 4,000, so we're just about there. We didn't actually think this would do all of the 4,000, but we want to raise 4,000. That we have contributed already to folks in need in North Carolina and other hurricane relief efforts that Keller Williams Cares is a part of. So we hosted this event to kind of make back what we had already threw out, right? We said we're going to give out this money because you need it now. We're going to wait to do the stuff. We have confidence that we're going to be able to generate $4,000, and we'll just get it to you in advance. So we had a big raffle, we had a happy hour. Raffle winners included Lisa Brainer, who won a Puerto Rico gift card. Grease tickets to the Chanhassen Theater went to Shelby and Amanda. Twins cooler, Brian Amundsen, you got that thing? How's that working? Have you put anything in there yet?
Coors Light, very cold.
There you go, silver balls your way. Twins and Timberwolves ticket went to Jason Herkamp, as well as a bottle of bourbon. And Jamie has a wonderful golf polo that he found actually has a little hole in the collar so you could put T's in there. I didn't know that was a thing, but hey, that's cool, I guess. Fantastic cause, KW Cares. For those of you who are not familiar, you can contribute to KW Cares out of each of your checks. You can set a predetermined amount, and each time you do a commission check, it can take that amount out. Our goal is to increase to 100% agents who give to KW Cares over the next year. And we feel very strongly about that because you may not be in need now, but when you are in need, you don't want to have to worry about it. And our ability to help other agents across the country when things come up, and they always do, is predicated by our ability to contribute to that. So KW Cares is definitely a great charity, and we're very proud of the work that all of you have done to contribute to that. Olivia.
I just want to thank everybody that came to that and all the work that Grace and Jamie and all of you did. It was great. Even last week, there was a family, a Keller Williams agent from the Coon Rapids Market Center, their house burned to the ground. And within 3 hours of KW finding out that that happened, they wired the $5,000 immediately into their bank account, and now they're filling out the emergency grant. So I understand we're not going to get a hurricane in Minnesota. More than likely, if we do, we're all screwed. But like, if you don't think that something can happen to your kids or your family or what have you, so thank you for all your donations and your continued support.
Yeah, it was a really fun event too, by the way. We even had clients show up to that event. So great event, and I know it was kind of short notice, so if you didn't know about it, we apologize. We needed to get it done and get it done right away. But look out for them in the future. November events coming up. We have the MREA Book Club on Tuesdays at 2:30. That goes on Tuesdays, 2:30. That's led by Jamie and Melissa. Business Growth Workshop was today, this morning at 9:30. We talked about online leads and generating and following up with them. Mega Agent Mastermind today at 12:30. Who's hosting Mega Agent Mastermind? Is that you, Olivia, or am I doing it? I have plans to do it, but if you're gonna show up, I'd love to, at least have you smile for 10 minutes, because that'll make everybody at ease. And then we can go on from there. KW Connectors is on the 2nd and 4th Thursdays. And since the 4th Thursday is Thanksgiving, we won't be holding it then, but it is next Thursday. Solo Agent Alliance on Tuesday the 12th, and Broker Boot Camp Saturday the 16th and Tuesday the 19th. If you've never been to a broker boot camp, Melissa reviews various documents and how to get them processed and sent out correctly. Super great place, sometimes a nice review, regardless of where you're at in your real estate career. All right, Mega Agent Mastermind, we talked about that today. We talked a little bit about Mega Agent Mastermind in general. It's an opportunity for our mega agents to get together and talk about their business and mastermind the situations and problems that they're having. We invite everyone to attend, but please keep in mind this is a discussion amongst our mega agents, so you're welcome to listen. But sometimes some of those things that they're dealing with may not be relevant to your business if you're a smaller or newer agent. So we're gonna let that discussion happen and maybe you pick something up, but the focus is on helping them in their business. We have other things like the Solo Agent Alliance, that would be next. The Solo Agent Alliance and things like that that are more geared towards different other groups, maybe solo agents in that case. So with that in mind, MREA Book Club goes on Tuesdays, going forward at 2:30. We'll also be having in November, which is now, a coat drive. Last year we were pretty successful with our coat drive. We had a lot of coats, big piled up all over the place. If you got coats in your house and you need to get rid of them, bring them in. You need to do a door knocking exercise, go tell people, leave a little note on their door, say I'm back in a week and looking for coats that we can donate to people. And you go back around and you're making clients, you're making door knocks, you're getting out there and talking to your clients. It's a great way to do that. You can email your clients, you can do whatever you like, get in touch with your clients and tell them that you need coats. You go get those coats, bring them here, and we'll get them to people who need them. What a great way to be a part of the community. All right, Value Unlock the series. So if any of you have been to Value Squared or heard of Value Squared, a presentation given by Gary Keller, Jason Abrams, and Jay Penzan, we're doing our version here. That'll be, the next meeting will be on November 11th from 11 to 12. Jamie will be leading that discussion. So we talk about the Millionaire Real Estate Book Club. Yes, it's still relevant. You will see me in the shirt on Friday. I want you to remember that the Millionaire Real Estate Agent is the path to success as written by agents who have done it. Success leaves clues. The clues that they left, they wrote down in a book, gave it to you for free. Well, not for free, but close. So 2:30 on Tuesdays, join us. We'd love to have you participate in that. There's the Solo Agent Alliance slide that I was talking about. Solo Agent Alliance is great this time on November 12th, noon. We'll be at M&I Homes in Rousemount. Mastermind lunch, best practices, share resources. Last time was a great success. We're looking to have as many people show up there as are interested. All right. How about this? Al Newman, two-time World Series champion, Twins player, be here next week. Very exciting. Oh, no, sorry, postponed. Now, here's the thing about it being postponed. Al Newman understands God, family business. And he has two daughters who have just had children of their own, and he realized he needed to be there because of the timing of the births. So he won't be able to join us next week. He put family in the right place. So he will not be with us next week, but he will be coming back at another time when he's able to get back into town and everything's a little more settled in his family. So now he's a two-time world champion dad. But we will be bringing Kyle Cross, a mega agent from Maple Grove and leader of the Foyt Cross Group, and a MAPS coach as well next week in his place. And he'll be talking about setting expectations and gratitude in a month where gratitude is often right at the top of our minds. So we'll be glad to have Kyle Cross come. If you've not had him or heard him speak before, he's been here a few times and every presentation he's given has been fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing him next week, and that'll be a great meeting. The week following, we're going to be featuring Chad, going to be talking about gratitude and overcoming adversity. Chad is sharing his recent challenges, both his personal and professional challenges, and he's going to talk a lot about that and what he's done to fix those things and how he's kept his life on track despite some things that have kind of come up in his life. And he'll be talking about that on the meeting on the 21st. So we'd love to see you there. Holy cats, now we get on to the regular business. We got my good friend Brian and my other friend Drake. They're gonna come up and talk about some things, some stuff, and some items. I can't tell you which of them are items, stuff, and things, but they will be talking about all three of them. And begin. Go, start.
Oh, you got it up already.
Have at it.
All right, so today we want to talk about maximizing our buyers' buying power by grossing up their income. And so we as lenders, we use a calculation to boost up income types like, you know, social security income, pensions, and even child support, because these income types do not get taxed. Or part of it gets taxed and maybe not all of it. So we get their tax returns, we, you know, find the line where, you know, it tells us whether or not it gets taxed, and then we use that calculation to gross up their income. And so again, we're trying to maximize their buying power, or sometimes we're trying to, you know, keep them below the debt to income ratio. And so last week I was able to save a deal because the other lender didn't know how to gross up their income properly. That's a big thing. It's a big thing to know how to do that. So with this same customer, because they were retired, we were able to also set up a draw out of their 401k account and use that as a qualifying income too. So as long as a buyer's retirement account has at least 3 years worth of monthly payments, we just need a letter from their servicer showing that monthly payment, and then an account statement showing that they have those 36 months worth of payments for the foreseeable future. So it's pretty easy, and you know, Brian and I were always looking for creative ways to either qualify our customers, whether it's, you know, to save a deal, or if we're just trying to increase their buying power. So I had
By payment, do you mean deposits into the account?
so, you know, like if they set up a draw for the 401k account, you know, they're drawing out maybe $800 a month, that kind of thing. Yep, is that what you're saying?
Well,
If you've got a 401k and it's got 500,000 in it,
yeah,
and you're gonna draw $2,000 a month, there's for sure more than 3 years worth of $2,000 a month.
okay,
And so we can use that $2,000 immediately as income.
okay, thanks for clarifying.
All right, so another way to save customers money, the FHFA, Federal Housing Finance Agency, basically conforming Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, conforming loans. It used to be if somebody put 20% down on a purchase, we'd run it through the system and we maybe could get an appraisal waiver, all right, just to save, you know, they're over $500 these days. It didn't always work, but oftentimes we get an appraisal waiver. Well, they are now being more lenient and going to possibly 90%, so 10% down, and we can still get an appraisal waiver. Basically, there's a database, and that database builds, we get appraisals, we get purchases, and so it's all going into a database, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna accept the value you plugged in. We're gonna accept that purchase price that you've got on the purchase agreement. Basically a way, you know, and there's a way to look at the underwriting findings to see if we get an appraisal waiver. So just another way to possibly save our customers money on an appraisal. They'll just accept the value and we don't need an appraisal. And that might even alleviate some other issues that an appraisal might show. All right, so just another positive that we're getting. And to end on a, yes?
Just gonna ask, is there a quick question on that? Is that kind of based on credit scores?
Not really. So it's, let's call it a confidence level. It looks at the address. Let's say it's not a Zillow check.
So it's
but
based on the home, not the borrower?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and the 20% are now maybe 10%.
Right.
So last Friday, a feel-good story for us to end on, is last Friday, Pam, my wife, and I went out with some friends, went to the Chart House in Lakeville. Hadn't been there in 15, 20 years. I couldn't believe how much nicer it was, I feel like, than the last time I was there. And so we get home on Saturday, which is another problem, but I'm already putting up and getting down Christmas stuff. And so up and down, and Pam's working on the tree and stuff, and at about noon she realizes the diamond is off her ring. The whole setting, everything. That's, you know, $100,000 diamond. So I'm on the floor crawling all over the place, looking we're all over the house. And I figured, okay, she hadn't knocked it off. And so she goes, I wonder if it's at the chart house. She calls, we're busy, but when everybody leaves, I'm gonna go, I'll look where you guys were. And I'll text you. So she's up at night, no text. Next day she calls back, oh, different person, let me check. Cleaning person found it in the kitchen, or in the bathroom, on the bathroom counter, turned it in, Pam ran back and got it.
Wow.
So, yep, there's still plenty of good people out there.
So you're $100 better.
Well, the replacement.
Okay.
What'd you pay for the reward on that $100,000?
I believe, I told her on the way out, actually, we didn't talk about it, whoever got that, you gotta make sure you give me something.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Ray. And thank you, chart house person, janitor, who finds diamonds. I'm gonna call and see if they can find one for me.
Kelly
Wouldn't
says
hurt.
thank you.
Would not hurt. She would definitely say that. So we want to talk about a case study today. And again, the case study is for us to have an interactive opportunity to kind of work through business challenges and problems. And today's agent is Alex. Pretty sure I went through the roster of names and there's nobody named Alex. So my son, the agent, is a seasoned real estate agent with a track record of being a top performer in the market. Done well, got good business. Alex has consistently gotten strong sales, maintained a robust client base, and a solid reputation for delivering results. Almost like every single one of you in this room. This could be any of you, or more importantly, it could be all of you. However, over the past few months, Alex has experienced a significant drop in his business. New leads seem sparse. Past clients aren't returning or referring at the same rate as they used to. Alex is unsure why his business is down. Sound familiar? Know somebody like that? Not you, of course, and not your friends, but somebody at a different brokerage who you don't know all that well and isn't your friend. It probably applies to them. So what we want to do today is analyze Alex's situation. And I've found when I give advice, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I have a problem is to explain it to myself like I would explain it to my children. Because the advice I would give my children is significantly different than the activities I take for myself. And if we can step outside of our own problem and instead give advice to somebody else, we might see some solutions to our own problem and we'll be a lot more gracious to them than we would be to ourselves. So today we're going to look at Alex's business and explore some causes for the change and brainstorm some ideas to figure out what's going on with Alex's business now we get back on track. Right? Because we want some practical steps for things that Alex can do. Because Alex is a really cool guy, his business is just kind of not where he wants it to be right now. We want to figure out what's that going on. And we have the smartest real estate brains in the area in this room. We're the number one brokerage, all that kind of stuff boils down to you, not the building. And your knowledge is what's going to put Alex back on the map. Does that make sense? We good with that? So shift tactic number one, and I didn't bring my shift book with me, I'm sorry. But shift tactic number one is get real, get right. And the biggest challenge we have most of the time with our business is not being willing or ready to get real with our own business. So that's why we're working on Alex's business, because we can get real with Alex's business in a way that we might not be willing to do with our own. And we'll give him better advice than we would to ourselves. So what are some questions, and I'm going to write them up here on the board, but what are some questions you would want to ask Alex based on the fact that he's had this business? Strong performer, consistently hits sales goals. What's a question you might want to ask, Misha? And I'll call on you if we don't have volunteers quick.
How many hours are you prospecting every day?
Prospecting, how much
Thank you,
hours?
Misha Krista. I just took some more.
I like it. What other questions we got for Alex?
What is your lead gen sources? Or what
Lead
are?
gen sources. Other ideas?
Follow up.
Follow up. What does your follow-up plan look like?
If you're not on appointment, are you practicing?
What's your practice schedule look like?
She worked hard at both.
What else we got? Well, I know you've done some classes before with folks. What would you tell a new real estate agent maybe struggling? What do they need, what do we need to ask this person to find out about their business?
How many people are in your database?
How many people do you have? That matters.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's what you were gonna say?
That's what I was gonna say.
It was.
There you go.
Steve, what would you ask a new agent? Maybe come, not even a new agent, an experienced agent, just coming to you for some advice. What would you ask?
Well, first of all, if they could answer those questions, they're probably halfway down the road that they haven't been down.
So, that, and we'll go back to
I'm
that.
talking about for a friend, you know?
Because to be honest with you, yes, we probably haven't even asked those questions yet of ourselves, right? So really what's happening here is you're creating a list of questions for yourself to ask yourself as we're going through this, right? So that's really what this list is. Thanks for letting us all let the secret out of the bag, Steve. But significant drop in business, new leads are sparse, past clients aren't returning. Any other ideas? Brian, what would you tell somebody? I'm gonna be part of your group and I want to learn a little bit about it, and you got some wisdom and you love sharing it. What would you need to know about my business to help figure out why it isn't going the way I want it to?
Pick up the phone.
What's that?
Pick up the phone.
And just tell them, the answer is call the damn leads.
Just start talking to people.
How many hours are you actually working a day?
How many people are you talking to a day?
Numbers.
Good answer, good answer.
Are you working in your business or on your business?
That's a good one.
What's the difference?
Do you know how many people you should be talking to a day? Have you tracked your numbers?
What are the goals?
What's your why?
What is your why? That's an interesting one. Because I happen to know a little bit about Alex. Any other ideas?
What routines were you doing when success was high that you're not doing now?
Thank you.
Our little Remax agents.
We're not Remax agents anymore, Olivia.
I apologize to those of you who have heard this before, but when I first started here as an agent, we used to have ALC members sit out at the table in the resource room for an hour. And I found that to be a really valuable resource because I would go and I would ask them. The first week I was here, I would ask each of those agents, I asked every one of them who sat there, I said, tell me what you did to get your business started. What was the most important thing to getting your business started? And the crazy thing is they all almost had the same answers about their sphere or anything like that. And I'd dig a little bit deeper to find out a little bit more. And I got a lot of interesting information, but basically it was working with their sphere, primarily. Now, they didn't know this, but at the time, I've done a lot of sales training, and I've done a lot of sales management leadership. And I knew that I was setting up a loaded question, because I came back the next time they were there, or maybe 2 times later they were there, and I said, hey, last time I was here, you mentioned you spent a lot of time when you first started your business using your Facebook market or your Facebook group to build your business. Are you still doing that? And the moment after that question would happen, whatever their answer had been, the moment of reflection when they realized the routines that they were doing before when they were successful were not the same routines they have now was an eye-opening piece. So I really thank you for that. That was one of the first things that I learned. And you heard about that, if you were in my class earlier, that consistency beats perfection every time, right? If this is working for me, I just need to be consistent at it. Not being perfect, just being consistent. So again, thank you for that one. That one to me is really just hits me right in the heart. All of these are good answers. This one hits me in the heart because it was my first lesson.
I got another question. Show me your schedule.
Oh yeah. And why is that important to us?
Time block.
Time blocking, but because Gary says I can tell you anything I need to know about a person just by looking at their schedule. Right? Everything I need to know. I can learn from their schedule. I'll tell you what, I can also tell you anything I need to know by looking at somebody's transaction desk, because I will find out a lot just by looking at your transaction desk, how you run your business. Some of them are really neat, and some of them are not as neat.
Last minute.
It's all good, it's all good. You run your business how you like. But you can find out a lot about these sorts of habits, because this goes into habits, right? Anything like that, whether it's your schedule, whether it's how you deal with your paperwork, all those things are your habits, and your habits define you. That's what makes you who you are, is your habits. You can talk about what you want to do, you can talk about where you're going, you can talk about all those things, but until you have habits that are the habits of the person who is who you want to be, you will not become that person without having the habits of that person. If I want to be rich and reach people, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go exercise, and I don't want to exercise, I'm not going to be that rich person. I might be a different rich person, but I got to have habits, and my habits are what's going to make me there. Any other ideas? Because these are a lot of good ones. All right, let's find out a little bit about Alex. As it turns out, when we talked to Alex, he has pretty inconsistent client follow-up, right? We talked about follow-up, what's my follow-up plan? Turns out it's pretty inconsistent. He doesn't have a really regular communication with his clients. He misses opportunities for repeat business and referrals. And so how do I, we'll get to some specific prescriptions for each of these after we get through this. But other challenges he might have, and again, I know none of you have these challenges, none of you have any of these challenges, but you might know somebody who isn't at our brokerage, who isn't your friend, that does. And we're gonna help that person. Reduce lead generation efforts. You know, I've spent a lot less time doing my prospecting. Potential clients, my pipeline's smaller because I haven't spent as much time prospecting as I used to. I've got some personal challenges and burnout. Some things have come up in my life that have taken me out of working on my business. And as a result of that, I'm kind of frustrated and I'm kind of irritated and I don't take to it the way I used to because things have come up. Again, I know nobody in here has had that, but there are people that we know who aren't our friends and work at other brokerages who might have experienced that. And even because of that, when I meet with people, I'm not my usual self. Normally I'm pretty cheerful, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, I enjoy having some fun with people, but everything lately has been just such a rush. I don't feel like I have any time to myself, so when I get there, I'm out of breath. I'm not rested, I'm not cheerful, I'm trying to get through this because I know the thing after this is super important too. You can imagine that being a problem for a friend who isn't our friend, who works in another brokerage. Outdated approach to technology. You know, I'm not doing all of the stuff. I know that they're out there and they sound really cool, but I don't have time to learn and apply them to my business. And in today's market, especially when 33% of home buyers are first-time home buyers, they're typically skewing a lot younger. They're interested in the technology aspects. They want to be touched in those ways that technology touches people. And if I don't want them as clients, the easiest way to make sure I don't have them is not to learn the things. Because they will go, I don't want to deal with that old fuddy-duddy, I want somebody else who's new.
You're talking to me?
Some other issues. Oh no, we can all be good. Weak online presence and reputation management. Lack of strong online visibility, fewer client reviews, potential clients may be choosing competitors with better online reputations, right? That can happen. And so how do we work with those things? Now, there are a lot of challenges a realtor could have. These are the challenges that Alex has. And some of them may be things you've heard of or have felt one time in the past. Steve.
And, you know, talking to myself, I look at that list of things there, and I can't help but see over there on the wall, one of my favorite BOEM laws, come from curiosity, not judgment. And I can look at that list and say, well, okay, I'll do this one, I'm not gonna do that one, I'm not gonna do that one. Hell no.
Which one is that one?
You know, we have to come from curiosity.
Absolutely. And if you're going to advise somebody or yourself, getting real and getting right with yourself requires you to be curious and not judgmental. A good friend of mine spent some time with me explaining that I need to stop using the word should because I like to explain what I should have done. And then he says to me, quit shoulding all over yourself. Right? Because that's really what you're doing. Should is a nice word. It has value. but it doesn't have value when you're evaluating facts. What you should have done, it's too late to figure whatever that even means. Either I did this or I didn't. If I did it, I didn't do it well, or I did it as well as I could. Or I don't even like doing it, so I don't even know why it's on my list of things to do, right? That's a real thing. So as we look at these issues here, and let's kind of work down the list, let's talk about what we might do as agents, or what we have done as agents to fix that kind of problem. Because again, I know none of you have ever had these problems, so you might not need the remedy. But the person you don't know who isn't your friend might, and they might be listening online right now. And it would be really nice for them to hear your support helping them to fix the problem that they might have. Because these are real problems. So if I have limited regular communication with my past clients, is that going to impact my business?
Yes.
If I don't have a plan to communicate with my clients, do you think I'll do a good job communicating with them on a regular basis? So I have to have a plan. Once I have a plan, how do I execute that? But what tools do we have to communicate with our past clients on a regular basis? 36 touch plan. So when we talk about 36 touch plan, well, what's a 36 touch plan? A smart plan can be part of the 36 touch plan, and the 36 can execute portions of the 36 touch plan. But hopefully, parts of your 36 touch plan, when I say hopefully, what I mean is better, include some parts that include you, not just email, texts, and things like that, right? And that's what the smart plan is going to handle. But there should be parts of your 36 touch plan that include you. And those things, what are some of the elements of the smart plan that aren't automated? Phone calls. Do I have a regular plan to talk to the people in my sphere? So what would be a great time to talk to somebody? If these are my past clients, we have a clue right there, right? On their home anniversary is a great time to ask them how things are going. Their birthday is a great time to ask them how they're doing.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is
you.
right here. I tell you, you can call anybody in your list in the month of November and December and wish them a happy holidays, and they will respond. I don't care how long it's been. It seems okay for you to call this time of year in a way that it would be strange for you to call that person you haven't talked to in 8 years in the middle of June. Now, you can get over that and call them anyway, but right now, you have the greatest opportunity. Hey, I'm just going through my Thanksgiving list, and I want to call you up. Frankly, I just want to express some gratitude. Thank you for being in my life. You're an important person in my life. And I know I haven't reached out. And I thank you for respecting me and taking my call today. You don't have to apologize for not calling them, but you can thank them for their grace in accepting the call. And that's way better than an apology. It's way better. Unless you really screwed up, in which case that's on you. Figure it out, right? But calling is a great part of that. What other things do we typically include in our 36 touch plan that are not emails and smart plans? Because smart plans is where I'm gonna help you, but you gotta help yourself in these ones. Events.
Postcard.
You know, it's crazy. Events, a great time of year. What do we do typically? What do all realtors do in Thanksgiving? It's absolutely funny if you've ever been to Costco in the month of November. The pie event is insane.
If you haven't ordered them, I heard Costco is limiting the number of pies this year.
Limiting the number of pies because all they do in the month of November is make pies. And they gotta bring up part-time people to make pies. And one time I heard last year, they accidentally hired a guy called the Purple Pie Man, and he turned the whole thing upside down. Strawberry Shortcake was really upset. So, you know, it's a busy time for them. So make sure you're making plans if you're gonna run a pie event. But that's a great one. People love it. It's a value add. People will drive from 50 miles or more away to come get a pie that costs $8. The drive costs them more than the pie. But that's because they want to talk to you. And you lose sight of that. They want to have a relationship with you, and the pie is the gateway for them. That's why it's so important. That's why it's a valuable touch. And you can do other events. Hey, are we having a Santa event coming up? We are. So people can come here and get pictures taken with Santa, right, Grace?
Yes.
Now, if I reach out to all my clients and invite them to the Santa event, but the spots are filled, what happens? They don't get to come, but they feel good that you called them. Wow, it was really cool of you to think of me. I'm sorry I can't make it. You know what? We're having this event. I'll see if I can get you registered. Turns out we're already filled up. That could be a challenge, but you can handle that because you're just talking to people, right? You can call them invited. Once you've invited them, if they come and you get them signed up, you can call them again, remind them. It's another touch. You can send them a text. You can say, hey, I just want to remind you, today's the day of the event. Come on out, we'll see you. What else can we do with our clients? Events. We've got events. We've got phone calls. What else can we do personally impact our clients? I'll give an example, and I'll just call out Cedar Haven Homes recently did a thing. What did you do over there recently that filled up people's cars with brown things, brown bags maybe?
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta lead you down. Like, remember before when we said we don't even know what our business plan is? I successfully executed an event and I don't even know what it is. That's how good it was. It was so successful.
It was so successful at Cal, but my team did a food drive for each of our neighborhoods in end of October. And we collected, I think it was, I don't know, Stacy would have to know. I myself, with my neighborhood, collected over 1,000 pounds of food for the open door food pantry.
So,
And then we had probably another
Similar.
500 to 700 more beyond that, yeah.
so what did that look like? I mean, what was the whole plan? I mean, if I wanted to execute that right now, and I said, that's a great idea, this is the time of year where people need food, what happened? What was the mechanics behind it?
So for a couple of us, it was a little bit easier because we have Facebook groups in our neighborhood, but even without that, we door knocked. So I door knocked 200 doors in my neighborhood and then also posted in our Facebook group.
So when you door knocked,
I had a paper bag, grocery bag, with a flyer stapled to it. that
and I don't answer the
explained
door,
exactly what to do.
what happens? If I don't answer the door and you door knock,
Stick it in the door.
you put it on there anyway. Did you get any food from people who didn't answer their door?
Tons. As a matter of fact, because this is the 4th time I think I've done this, and I need to track who answers and who doesn't, and then who leaves the food.
We're not at that stage yet, we're growing.
We're just happy to have food.
I've never met a baby who runs. They have to get
We're
there,
a 4-year-old
steps at
now,
a time.
but still, yeah, we're 4-year-olds.
There you go.
They run weird, so it's okay.
Babies are weird, they all look old. Anyway, even Toddy's baby looks old.
Door knock.
Door knock.
I posted again a couple times in my Facebook group, but if you don't have Facebook group, that's fine. Everything is on that flyer. And then for me, it was that following Sunday. I door knocked on a Thursday for hours and hours. And then on Sunday, I drove around my neighborhood. I didn't knock on a single door. I drove around my neighborhood. The rule is they had to have the food, the bags, and they can do more than one bag, and many people do, out visible from the street. Next year, I'm gonna say at the end of your driveway, because it's a lot of running up to people's doors. But if it's visible from the street, I drive around that Sunday afternoon and pick them all up, fill up my car, take a lot of photos and video, and then took it to the open door the next day.
Make sure I understand this, you promoted your business.
I did.
Did you feel good about donating that stuff to Open Door?
Well, yeah. You know me, you know the open doors.
Well, who wouldn't feel good about that? And the people, the clients in your business, they get to see the posts you make,
Yep.
advising them, they're
Yep.
seeing them, they're doing that.
Yep.
And then they get to see that they contributed as well. They get to see the results of your food drive. So there's so many touches in there that expose you as a human being to the people who want to do business with you. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm going to trust somebody with the most important financial purchase that I'm going to make in my life, I want to know a little bit more about that person than their name and their slogan. I want to know, if I can, I want to know their heart. And I know, based on seeing the posts, that Sarah cares about the people in my community. I know that. And so that's important to me. That's what puts her top of mind. That's what puts me to start defeating the regular communication with my clients. We can think of a lot more activities, but we'll move on from that because then you get the idea. There are things we have to do to regularly communicate with our clients. And because of that, we miss opportunities for repeat business and referrals. I know not everybody uses command. If you use command, I promise you, the second a human being raises their hand, one of your contacts raises their hand, you need to create an opportunity for them so you have a separate place to track all of the humans who have said, I am thinking about buying or selling a house in the future.
There's something in the chat that needs to be read.
Say the words, I don't have it.
I don't know, I can't see the chat.
I don't have to see it either. When you talk chat.
Kelly said, I put something in the chat. Please tell Jason.
See, I'm trained. I want
What
you all
time
to
are you
recognize
coming
I'm
home for
trained.
dinner? Bring home dinner.
Call all your buyers from last December until now and remind them to homestead their house if they haven't already. That's a fantastic thing to do as well. Because if they haven't homesteaded their house, this will be a real challenge.
Who said that?
Kelly. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Next thing, I'm gonna get one from Jamie, asking why I didn't tell any puns or something. But there are so many ways to contact folks, and that's a great example of it. And if you put people in opportunities, the opportunity system, when they raise their hand, you have a place that you can go to and start your day in the opportunities list and see all of the clients over the course of time who have said, I'm thinking about buying or selling a house. So now I have a place to go to specifically find them, instead of a ring of Post-it notes around my monitor to hook up with guy who said, I want to sell my house next year after my son graduates from high school. Because how do you remember that? What is your system for your repeat buyers, people in your business? What is your system to keep up with them? Because there's nothing more frustrating than calling somebody up after a period of time who is a potential buyer for you. You say, hey, how are things going? Oh, great, I bought my house last week. Wait, what? But I talked to you so many times. Not the right time. And you can't know that, so you have to have a system. So reduce lead generation efforts. I know nobody ever takes a break from lead gen. I know everybody in this room is a 2-hour a day, every day, all day, every week, 365 a year. But sometimes things get in our way. And if we don't protect that time, I'm not going to ask you strategies for protecting that time, because there aren't a lot of strategies. You just have to do it. And you have to set it up in a way that makes sense. So I will throw out a couple ideas for lead generation efforts if you're new in your business. And for example, Will, he's heard this from me, and I think maybe I talked to Clint about this yesterday as well. But if you don't have your contractor list built out, one of the best ways you can build out a contractor list is to call people in your sphere of influence and say to them, hey, I'm a realtor, I do realtor things, and every once in a while, somebody needs a plumber. And if you're calling your sphere of influence, you might say, do you know anybody who in the trades that I might refer business to if I had needed it? Oh yeah, my cousin does roofing. Excellent. I'm gonna put that right over here. I'm gonna write that. Can I have his name and phone number? And in addition to that, do you maybe have an email address or something like that? You know, I'll call him for that. I'll talk to him about it, if you're fine with that. Do you think he would mind if I gave him roofing opportunities? No, of course not. He'd love more business. Cool. So then I call up my friend, the roofing guy, and I'll say, we'll pretend it's my friend Will. Say, hey, Will, I understand you're in the roofing business. Your cousin Joe gave me your name, and he said you were really good at it. I'm a realtor, and one of the things that often comes up with my clients is when I'm trying to sell their house, the roof isn't in the best possible condition. So there are times where I'm gonna need somebody who can help somebody get their roof fixed. Would you mind if I sent you some referrals?
Yes.
You would mind?
No.
No, you wouldn't mind. That's wonderful. I'd love to send you some referrals. Two things I'd like to do. Do you mind if we get together in coffee and just talk a little about your business and what makes you special? Because I want to make sure I'm giving the clients the right idea about what you do and what works for you and what's made you successful and why your cousin would recommend. Cool with that? Cool. I love to do that. Second thing is, since I've got you on the line, is there anybody else that you've worked with in the past in similar businesses or trades that you would also recommend? Maybe somebody does siding or windows.
I got a brother that does electricity.
Boom. Now I've got another call to make, right? I'm building out my lead generation list. I'm building out my client list. And good news is I can use my client, my list of contractors to communicate with my past clients. I'm talking to all of the people on my sphere right now about people that they know. Now here's a really crazy thing. I have a cousin who makes candles. That is never gonna go on my client. I don't need candle maker on my list of preferred vendors. It's not a thing. But wait a second. I do need gifts. I do need gifts for the people that buy and sell homes with me. And I could give them a candle from somebody on my client list. Would that make me a hero to them? I bet it would, because I'm building their business. And that also means, now I have another idea. I can call everybody on my list and say, hey, do you know anybody who does or makes small things that I could give as a client gift? I've got a million reasons to call people at any time. They don't have to be oh my God, I just wanted to call, see if you're interested in buying, selling real estate. I have to make 25 calls a day, and you're on number 22. There's a lot of things you can have, and a lot of interactions you can have, and a lot of reasons to call people, and that feels good, calling people about that. I can't remember his name, Patrick Showers, I believe is his name, came and talked about this, and one of the things he talked about is you go on Facebook any day and you look and see somebody posted something neat, exciting, fun, cool, just call those people. Open up your Facebook, find a friend who did something neat, call that person and ask them about the thing. We're having a conversation now. Super simple, super easy, it feels good. If they did something and they were successful, call them up and congratulate them. That feels even better. And you know who feels even better? They do. So now you got two winners in this scenario. The client and you both feel good. You feel good for thanking them, they feel good for being thanked. That's amazing. Think about how that process could work. Who do I call? I call the people I want to call. I feel good about it all the time. And as a result, I'm not as irritated by that, right? Personal challenge is burnout. I know, again, I've been through that, but knowing when you're doing that, this sort of thing, calling people for the right reasons, calling for people for reasons that are close to your heart, helps defeat burnout. Really does. Because I'm calling people to congratulate them, thank them, and find out interesting things, and they're enthusiastic to share with me, I don't feel bad about making calls. I feel good about it. And if I feel good about it, I'm gonna make more. And if I make more, I'm gonna get more business. It's not rocket science, but it is hard. It's hard to come up with those ideas on the fly. Outdated approach to technology, make an appointment, okay? I can stuff information into your brains like crazy. Just stuff it, stuff it, stuff it, stuff it, stuff it. And it'll be all stuffed in there, and you won't even know what to do next. That's why I work on an appointment basis, because you're gonna come to me with a problem, and we're gonna solve it together. And by solving it together, you're gonna have a roadmap for what to do about it and make it better and fix it, right? So if right now you're having a problem with how do I generate online leads, that's a great appointment. I want to generate more leads online. Let's talk about how you do this. There's a lot of scenarios to do that. There's a lot of ways to do that. You might even come to a class that I hold and we talk about doing that. And we move on through that process, but that matters. All of this data stuff matters. But here's the thing. One of the things I most commonly hear is from people, thank goodness Will doesn't have this problem, but other people do, who aren't our friends. We don't know and work at other brokerages. They say, I'm too old to learn technology. You're not too old. You're not. You're not, because I promise you that your curiosity and coming from curiosity is what keeps you young. What makes you old is start to thinking that things are off limits. As a person who's taught people to use how to use a smartphone for 15 years, before even iPhones even existed, I was teaching people how to use smartphones, and I would have people come in and say, I am too old to learn these things, but I have to know it because they're making me have one. And I would have people come in and say, my grandson uses this thing and he wants to FaceTime with me and I really want to FaceTime with him. One is curious, one is apprehensive. The mindset of the curious person about the technology opened them up to learning about it, and they were having a great time with their grandson in the class. The angry person left and had to come back the next time because they still didn't get it. Technology is just a tool. It's just a tool. And when it becomes a barrier to your business, that's where I get involved. That's what I'm here for, is to remove it as a barrier to your business. Because technology is just a tool. It doesn't care. And the cool thing about your grandkid who knows how to use it way better than you do, you probably heard about that kid, or maybe even your children, use it way better than you. Some of them can't even read. They're literally just clicking things on the screen, and they click the one that they like, and they keep clicking it as long as they like it. And when they stop liking it, they stop clicking it. It's so much easier. They don't even know. They don't even know what's this. So you have this amazing advantage that you can read. I don't even know which one of these things is the phone. Seriously, sir? Can I have you look at the phone? The one that looks like the phone handle? That's the phone. But in case you get lost, underneath it, it says P-H-O-N-E, phone. And if you're patient, right? Because the first thing is, in the rules of technology, is relax. It's just a tool. Second thing is breathe. Take a deep breath. And the third thing is read. It says right on there what to do. And if you don't know how to do it, and you don't know what it means, technology has become a barrier to your business. So you call me. That's what I'm here for, because I'm your leverage for those kinds of situations. But if you read it and you go, I want to delete all of my contacts. Should I push the button? No, you should not push the button. Unless you want to delete all your contacts. That's a lot of work going down the drain, but hey, you could do it. And there might be good reasons for it. But just read what it said. If it doesn't make sense, call me. If it does make sense, you want to do it, do it. Hey, I don't want to agree to all these terms and conditions on my iPhone. It says all these terms and conditions, I don't want to do it. Cool, you don't have to use the iPhone. Pretty simple. Either I agree and use it, or I don't agree and I don't use it. Pretty simple stuff, but you have to read those things, right? And weak online presence, reputation management, these days people are finding you online. And your Google My Business account is a great way to drive that process. It's the most common search engine that people use. If you don't have a Google My Business account or a Google My Business page, that is the first thing I would tell Alex to get on with his business. And as soon as it was up, I would tell him, do not mess with it again. Maybe I will later. But right now, I want you to believe, don't mess with it now. Because once it's up and running, that's all I need it to be. Because I'm never gonna be in front of more people than stretching arms guy. So I need it to be there for clients who find you, but I don't need to worry about which font I'm using, or is this the exact right picture of my face at the wrong angle. In fact, if your face is wrong angle, somebody's gonna call you and say, hey Clint, I was on your Google My Business page, why are you sideways? And you're gonna say, because I wanted you to call, and I knew you would. So thank you, I appreciate you calling me, and I'll get that fixed. But in the meantime, what can I help you with, right? That's what I want. I want the call, I want the interaction. I want to sneeze in the middle of my video so you laugh and you go, I want to see that again and share it with my friends. It is okay to mess up when it comes to technology. It's not okay to not do it. So when we come to helping out my friend, those are the challenges and some of the things that we can do. Questions, ideas, concerns, problems, how else can I help my friend Alex? Any other ideas? We feel good about having helped Alex today, or some things that Alex can do. I hope so. And we've reached the end of our meeting. At 12:30, we have a Mega Agent Mastermind. And in the Mega Agent Mastermind, we invite everybody in the office who would like to be part of that and discuss some of the challenges that are currently going and mastermind on how we can fix those things. Invite everybody to come, but it'll be the Mega Agents who will be doing the discussion, there. Tom.
Just wondering if I could have 30 seconds for a little PSA.
I would love for you to take 30 seconds to do a PSA. Tom, tell us about it.
All right, well, I'm not sure how many people in here have an LLC. If you've received something like this in the mail, talking about your annual renewal for your business, throw it away. You have to renew your business every year, but it doesn't cost anything. They're gonna charge you $135 to do this. Throw it away. Talk to your accountant, CPA, do it yourself. You can do it online through the state, so.
There are a lot of people out there who are looking to help you. Make some money. They're gonna make some money helping you, but you can help yourself for free in a simple process. So leverage is important, but not that kind of leverage. And leverage for luxury is not a benefit unless you really need luxury.
I got a thing, when my daughter purchased her property that said that, in order to get registered, like with the county, that they had to pay $150 for this person to do it, otherwise you weren't gonna be registered, so.
One of the best things about being a realtor, hopefully that you're doing with your clients, is reminding them that much like I am the person who takes the technology out of their business problem area, you are the person who takes that stuff out of their area. You want them to be in contact with you about things they get regarding their property. And you know the scams. They don't. And if that's not something you're talking about when you're meeting with your buyers for the first time, look, there's a lot of people out there in this world who are looking to take advantage of people. One of the best things about a realtor is, I've done this before, I know the passes, I know that you should not wire your money. And over the course of this transaction. You're probably gonna get somebody who's gonna ask you to wire them your earnest money to them. It's a scam. Come to me. Let me help deal with that. So there are all kinds of different things out there that are like that. And it's unfortunate and it's real. And you want to be that defender.
I just want to take on that because I work with a lot of seniors and we have, every year we have an update on all the most recent scams from the police department. But I also wanted to share a couple things on, I know my daughter got stacked this much on mortgage registering their things and for a fee and all that kind of stuff. But Dakota County has a very interesting new thing. If you have not gone on the Dakota County website, you can sign up so a lot of people get that title lock or whatever on TV that's advertised. Dakota County has their own for free. And all you gotta do is go on the website and sign up for it, and put in a email address, and they will notify you about your property if anything ever gets reported or wanting to check in on it, that kind of thing. So it's basically the same thing as that title lock that they advertise on TV all the time. And Dakota County has provided it for all residents that have land or property.
So, any of you guys got clients in Dakota County that you sold a house to? Guess what? You got another reason to call them.
Yeah, exactly.
You now have another reason to call them. Figure out the website, we'll figure it out, maybe post something about it later on Facebook, but that's a great reason to call your clients. Hey, I'm speaking with this new service, and I'd love for you to know about this. There's so many reasons to call people. Do not let it be a barrier to your business. And now it sounds like I'm beating the drum, but it is the drum that needs to be beaten. So, have a great Thursday. See you next week. And we'll be bringing Kyle Cross down from the road to replace Al Newman. We traded Al Newman for Kyle Cross. And the player gave me later. They said Al Newman back.
Go to the website, somehow right in there. Email us a call back, but it's title notification. They'll tell me about it, that they offer it to all residents now, so. I just, yeah, just got my notes on it.
That's awesome.